Okay, these are the ingredients for our old-fashioned buttermilk rum pound cake.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Diane's Decorating and More. Thank you so much, first of all, to all of my subscribers and showing your support. I really truly appreciate it. And to the new subscriber, stay tuned. You're in for some wonderful videos, guaranteed. Hope that you will share, hope that you will like, and hope that you will enjoy the videos that I share here on my channel. And again, that's Diane's Decorating and More. Now today, I have decided to share another one of my cakes that is very popular in our family. Okay, it is called the old-fashioned rum buttermilk pound cake. And I have a snap of all the ingredients, and that will be a part of the video for you guys, okay? Now, as I do the pound cake, I'm going to explain to you exactly what I'm doing, how I'm placing everything, and what all the ingredients consist of, okay? Alright, everything has been cleaned, everything has been measured out, everything's been sanitized, so we are ready to get started. Alright, first of all, what we want to do is when you're baking a cake is make sure that your ingredients are room temperature. That is vital when you're making a cake, especially pound cakes. Pound cakes are very sensitive. Okay, so I have here 5 large eggs already deshelled. Okay, alright, and I have 3 cups of flour in here that I have sifted. And in there I have the half a teaspoon of baking powder. I have the 1/4 teaspoon of salt that's already been sifted into the flour. Okay, alright, and we have here also our 1 cup of buttermilk. Okay, our 4th cup of rum, real rum. Okay. And we have our 3 sticks of butter. Again, everything is room temperature. And we have our 3 cups of sugar as well. Okay? So, what I'm going to do first is we're going to whip our butter for about 10 to 12 minutes. Okay? And then we're going to come back and we're going to put our sugar in there, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like when you whip the butter and the sugar at its correct consistency, because it's very important that you get a chance to see that so you can understand why you whip the butter and your sugar for that length of time. Okay? Alright. So I'm not going to talk over the mixer. I'm just going to let that mix for that length of time, and then while that's doing that, I will fix the frosting and get it ready, because we're gonna, not frosting but glaze. So we'll fix the glaze and get that prepared for the end of the cake mixing process, baking process. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're at the point where we're going to add our sugar in. Just a little bit at a time. Okay, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. We've added our 3 cups of sugar into our butter, and we're going to let that continue to mix for another 7 minutes. It's already been whipping for about 5 minutes. Okay. And every now and then you can stop and scrape down the insides of the bowl. Make sure you get all your ingredients in there, okay? Alright. There. Just so we can make sure we do that. Okay, I wanted to show you exactly what it looks like here. On the spoon, if you get a good shot there. That's what you want it to look like. With all of the granules and everything already broken down into the butter, okay? Alright. Now we're going to add our eggs one at a time. You only want to mix the batter just enough to get the eggs incorporated into the batter. No excessive length of time that you want to lapse in between. Just enough time to get it mixed in there really, really good. Okay? Okay, so now we're at the point where we're going to be adding our flour. Okay, and we're going to be adding our milk. I'll have you to know that I went ahead and put my flavorings or extracts into my milk. Okay, that way when I'm pouring it in, it's all incorporated into the batter. Okay, what you want to do is start with your dry ingredients and end with your dry ingredients. Okay, I find that in my experience in cooking cakes that's worked best for pound cakes. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start our mixer. I'm going to show you the whole long drawn out process. I'll show you what I do in terms of how I alternate and how many minutes in between the liquids and the dry. Okay. All right. Starting off about let's see here, on 4. My mixer, I start on 4. That's the flour. You don't want to over mix it, because it may make your cake drop, or it may make it kind of gummy. So there's a process, I should say, to mixing cake. So that's why I say that as I go through, because I want to make sure that, you know, if you're watching the video, you make sure you get a good understanding of how to actually follow the steps so your cake can turn out as it should. It really looks good. Okay, so we are now at the end of the mixing process. I'm going to give it 2 more runs. That scrape down the bowl. I just want to mix the part that I scraped down back in there, okay? Alright, and I'll show you the consistency of the cake batter as well. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Alright, see that? Yeah, that looks delicious. And the smell, oh my goodness. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this into our prepared pan. Okay. Alright. I'm going to show you right quick. This is the pan here. Okay. see that? Yeah, here we go. All right. And again, all I did was spray this with Baker's Joy, my go-to. And you also just take, for this particular cake, I took 1 tablespoon of sugar after I sprayed it and just rolled it around inside there. So those little crystals you're looking at there is from some sugar that I use. And I tend to use the light brown sugar. You can use white if you choose. Both of them work. There's no difference in terms of that. And so it's your choice. But I used the little brown one. And that's to give it a crispy coat, because that's what I like in my cakes. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can get you to see this process here. I can tilt this down just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we're gonna take this off. I don't want to do this. Okay, let me scrape all this off of here first. We don't want to leave that on there. We want that to bake in the cake too. That's the good stuff. Alright. Okay. Got all of that off. Push up and slide off. Alright. There. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Okay. This. Okay, great. So now we're going to take our batter here. And we're going to pour it around in the pan there. Okay, some on that side, yeah. Oh, the smell of that rum in this cake. Oh my gosh. I love rum and everything. Oh, it's just a lovely, scent and smell that I enjoy for some reason so much in cakes. I really, really, really do. So, when I'm baking a cake that requires rum, I just love it. Really, really do. So, put that in there. Okay. While this goes in the oven, I'm going to show you guys the glaze that's going to go on top of the cake as well. Okay. Alright, so we got all that out of there. Okay, so let's set that there. This off up there. Alright. There. And this is basically what you're going to do now. It's just kind of like spread it around evenly. Okay, pushing it around like so. Like that. As much as possible. Okay. Alright. swirl there. Alright. Okay. Alright, get that. Just gonna shimmy it a little bit. Drop it a little bit. Basically, you're just trying to get any air bubbles out of the bottom. Okay? Alright. So then we're going to place this in the oven for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. Yes, an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. And then we're going to test it, of course, before we take it out. Make sure everything is, you know, baked properly. And we will come back and then I'll show you what I'm putting together in terms of the glaze, okay, that's gonna go on the cake when it comes out of the oven. Alright, and we'll be right back. Okay, as I promised, I said I would come back and show you the glaze that I have made for the cake while the cake is baking in the oven. Now this glaze consists of a half a stick of butter, I would say about a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, a dash of salt. I had 2 tablespoons of rum that I poured in there, and I used a 1/4 cup of the white sugar and a 1/4 cup of the brown sugar. Okay, and I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to pour that over the cake once it comes out of the oven and have time to cool. Okay, so I wanted you to see that what I'm doing here and the consistency, so you'll see. It's not going to be thick. It's going to be not too watery either once it comes to a boil, because like I said, it's just a simple little glaze, okay, that I put together for the cake. All right, so once the cake comes out of the oven and it cools, I will come back and show you exactly what I'm going to do with the glaze. All right. Okay. All right. So we are now back. We've taken our cake out of the oven, and I think I took some shots for you guys. See, it's still a little warm in the pan, but I wanted to show you close up here of what it actually looks like there. Okay. Alright, yeah. Alright, looks small on the camera, but it is a large cake. Very large cake. Okay, so I'm going to now take it and flip it over here. Okay, let's see. Let me get this right. Alright, that sounds good. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay. Wow. That is absolutely gorgeous. Woohoo! Alright. Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. She's so pretty. Okay. Alright, so I'll set it right here on the little cooling rack there. So I can get that down a little bit so you can see it. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Alright.
So now I'm going to let this sit and cool for another 20 minutes. And then we'll come back and put the icing on there, okay? Should I say glaze? We're going to come back and put the glaze on there. Okay, so we're at the point now where we're ready to put our glaze on the cake. I made like just a quarter cup, I would say, of this glaze. And so what I really want to do, I'm not going to use all of it, okay, on here. Just enough to use the bottom base part of the glaze, and I'll probably reserve the rest of it for another time, because you can do that with glazes and things like that. Okay, so yeah, this is quite a bit. The cake is already sweet, guys, so I don't have to use all of this glaze on here. It is sweet enough. Okay, yeah, so just letting that run over the sides there. Alright, and I'll show you what it looks like once I finish here. Swirl it around. I did poke little holes in here just to kind of give it a little edge in terms of having that soak into the cake to assist it. So, okay. All right. That looks good too. All right. Okay. I guess I can lift this up and show you exactly what it looks like there with the glaze on it. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna cut it right now. I'm just gonna let this cool down for a little bit more, and then I'm gonna cut a piece and show you that also, okay? All right. Okay, we are back for the cutting part, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what it looks like here inside of the cake before I go any further. So without further ado, here we go. Alright, so here. Da, da, da. I'm gonna cut this side. Not that it makes a difference. Okay. Alright, you see that? Alright. Okay. Some crumbs there. And like so. Okay. Here. So you can see that. Okay. Move it over to the side. Alright. The smell. Oh my word. Okay. Show you that side there, and the camera can catch that. Yeah, there it is. Perfect lighting right there. All right, all the way around. Okay. All right. Let's see what's this all about. What the fuss is all about. Okay, all right. Oh. This is just right. It is warm. Still had that little warm to it. Mercy. My mother would be so proud. This is delicious. This is delicious. Praise God. Thank you so much for joining me here today on Diane's Decorating and More, as we finished up making the old-fashioned butter rum pound cake. Try this recipe out. Leave your comments so I'll know how it turned out for you. I can honestly say it turned out excellent. I am so happy with the final results. I really, really am. You all have a blessed day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And it's Diane's Decorating and More.